This has just been capped off. I'm going to use a diamond cut filing thing. I think that went through. Nice clean cut that is. Push this out after. Push it in all the way. Okay, just remove the carcass, which is down here. And now would be a good time to do the pipe work. Okay, got two spanners, one to hold the other nut and then another one to loosen it. Yeah, okay, it's loose. This has just been capped off from before basically. So you saw that water, that was just in the pipes already. Bit of a tip, if your pipe that you want to drain out is in an awkward position, you can just put a water ball like I have and just bend it, and then all the water's collected in one area. There you go. Firstly, what I want to do is sand the end of that down. That's just to avoid the rubber seal from being cut. And then, okay, for that, I'm going to use a diamond cut filing thing. So make sure you kind of file the inside here. Not the inside of the pipe, but on the edge. So it doesn't cut up the seal, which I mentioned earlier. And the outside here as well, so make sure there's no sharp edges there either. So if you got that tool that I mentioned about earlier, it'd be very difficult to get it on here in this position. So that's why you can use one of these kind of pencil file things. Okay. The existing pipe hook had basically a compression fit, and I needed to take the olive out. So what I did was cut the olive. I'm not sure if you can see there. Let's push it down. There you go. But you got to be careful not to really kind of score or cut the existing pipe. You can see that. So I sliced it in between. Copper is one of the softest metals that will be in your house anyway. Okay, I've got the push fit fitting, which I'm going to do a 90-degree right angle, and it's going to go into this wall, and then it's going to go kind of behind the toilet sort of thing. So I've got to do another elbow when I go past here. So if you can see on this push fitting, the end of the copper that you're going to be inserting into here is roughly going to go about 3 centimeters in. So if you can compensate for that when it goes up here, for example, then you'd know where the new pipe will go through. So vertically levels here, I'm going to put a pipe going down from there to there. So now I know I can drill through there, get the new copper pipe in there, and then cut it on the other side. Actually, before I do any pipe work, I'm just going to make sure that the copper joint can go smoothly through this wall. So I'm just going to remove all the plaster first. Okay, what I did now is drill the hole through the wall, and I've made reference points so I know where it will come out on the other side. And fortunately, I managed to align the pipe with a mortar line. So here's the pointing between the brick, and that's a lot softer. And hopefully there's enough give there to get a pipe through after I get a bigger drill bit. It'll be a lot easier. Should go through like butter, especially through the cement. Got to be careful of the pipes as well. Awkward position. I think that went through. Let's have a look at the other end. To be fair, I think the drill bit, I think it went in diagonally. Okay, that's perfect. Blew out a bit of brick, but that might make it a little bit easier for me to get the hole through. I mean the copper pipe through. Alright, not sure if you can see through that hole, but you can just about see there the toilet in the other room. Now, if I can just chip away at that brick, I should be able to get the copper pipe in to spur off the cold, and then I'm gonna go on for the hot. Probably gonna put a T joint there, PVC, and bring it down through the same opening in the wall. Now, just to make sure that the copper pipe will fit, at least one, I'm gonna make the hole bigger later on for the second pipe. You can get an old piece of copper, put it in there. This one's at a right angle, so it's easier. Tap it in. There we go. Now we know that will fit if we were to put a pipe through that way. Now I can join everything up. Well, for the cold at least. All right, now to move on to the hot pipe, which is just next to it. So I need to slice it here, giving enough room on this edge so for any future work to be done, it's got a bit of space. And then keeping in mind that my worktop will start about here from the bottom underneath. I need a little bit of room there to work with as well. So just get your slicer, mark where you're going to put it, and make sure you've got enough travel to spin this thing around. About here, and just keep turning it around again and again until it comes off. Time to slice the pipe. I measured it all up. Just double check it though. Doing 10 from there, that's my choice. And start with the top and work my way down. So just keep turning it until it comes off. It should come off pretty cleanly, to be fair. And make sure you turn off the connection that supplies this. So make sure you turn off that tap, or, well, you'll know otherwise. Going, there we go. It gives. Okay, this bar is unsupported, so that's why I chose to use this one. So putting it back in will be much easier. Now let's do the same for the top one. Actually, let's show you a close up. That's a clean cut, if you can see. If you rub your fingers on that, you can see how clean it is. But even then, you gotta basically file down the inside, file down the inside of the parameter of the outside, just to make sure it's not sharp. Cut the other pipe. There's only one way you turn this, is clockwise, so the way I'm doing it basically. Otherwise it kind of just falls off. Okay. Right, that's the chunk I've taken out of it. Nice clean cut that is. And that's empty. Same as before. I'm gonna file down the inside. Just make sure there's no sharp edges. And then also the outside as well. Now I'm gonna install the T PVC push fit. Make sure these are loose and make sure this is untied first. And then I'll press it through. And there's normally about 3 centimeters of travel before it hits something. Or 2 centimeters, can't remember what it was now, but you can feel it's in there. And you can push this out after. Okay, and then tie in this nut up here. Obviously we'll be testing this a bit later. And then I've got to file the end of that side as well. Now pop the other side of the T joint. Wait, should really mark out. So I said roughly 3 centimeters it goes in. About here. So now I know how much to push it. Try not to stress out the pipes on each end too much, because then the other joints are pretty old. There we go, it's in. Pull that little bit out there on top. Make sure it's gripped in place. Okay, and tighten that up. It's a difficult place to work out. Done. There we go. See that? Basically. So that's my joint there for the cold feed. I've marked out exactly where that pipe will go so it doesn't clash to anything, whatever the case. It's always good to imagine where the pipe will go before you do it. Because once you do it, sometimes you might have an oven, whatnot, that might be in place. And where you put the pipe is, and where you put the pipe could clash with it. So just think about those things beforehand. And now I'm probably gonna get the copper pipe in there and might connect that corner joint before, because I haven't got much room here, so I'll probably do the pipe work beforehand and then install the right joints at the right time. I'm gonna drill the second hole or make it bigger. Actually, no. Make a separate hole, but gotta be careful with this pipe though. There's a gas pipe right here. Here. Okay, let's not push it. Don't wanna die today. Same thing as before, use an old copper pipe just to make sure it's clear. Sometimes the bricks will be sticking out a little bit, but there should be enough to smash it through. Okay. Stick it out slowly. Almost out. There you go. Now that should accept on the copper pipe, but to be fair, it's a bit tight, so I might just smash that out a little bit more. Okay. Push that in all the way. Pull that out. Screw it up. Okay. Done. I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier, but the reason why I actually put 10 centimeters on, and I chose the length to be this much, is so I can get it in here. And now all I gotta do is just press it a little bit, and there's a good enough room to work here. Well, minimum room to work here. But let me just double check that's gone far enough in, because sometimes you mark them, helps you out. So if you're not sure how far it is, or how far to put it in, just mark it. It should be at the collar, so over here. That should go in by that much. Let's pop it in then. There you go. And now I've got good room to work with here and tighten this up on the edge of the wall. Now let's pop that out. And then tighten that. Just got a bit more copper from upstairs. So I'll do 23 and a bit. So that's roughly there. Take off my guide. And just to double check the measurement before I start slicing, because copper is expensive. Yeah, 23 and a bit. Ooh.
On the next episode.
Not sure. We'll have a look. Just a standard one is fine. Hey, we're currently looking at appliances at the moment, so Lizelle, just show them why you picked these.